Hello everyone, welcome back to day number 4 of the daily challenge. I'm just doing a voiceover of this one because the audio was a bit choppy when I recorded it originally, but first round here we are in Kazakhstan with the car, 2024 copyright as well. I think I zoom in on here in a second. But yeah, they also have the black bottoms of these poles here, so it's very common in Russia. But also all of the not all of the, but some of the ex-Soviet Union states, such as Kazakhstan, do have these black bottom of the signs posts. So, I mean, this one's obviously Kazakhstan, but good tip if you're not sure where you're at sometimes. So I'm looking at this sign here, and I can't read any of this Cyrillic, but I do see right there, it actually says, I think it says Turkestan. No, I first thought of Turkmenistan when I heard that, the country, but I actually do end up finding a Turkestan, the city right there. So I'm not 100% confident we're in the city. Just as a sign there, obviously it could be, this could be a smaller town, it could be advertising for an event in the city or whatnot. So wasn't exactly sure, but I instantly just started looking for a roundabout and I found this one. Although it didn't really seem right, but it did seem like a pretty big roundabout, and on the map it was quite large. So yeah, I was a little unsure, but I kind of tried to get around to line up something a little bit better going up the road northwest here, and I made a mistake here. I think I thought it lined up kind of well on the left there, but we're actually on the other side of the roundabout. So yeah, not wasn't fully locked in for this one. I briefly looked for other roundabouts, which I didn't see anywhere. And then I started questioning if we were maybe not in this town or city. So I kept looking, figured a roundabout or a traffic circle, I guess some people call it, of this size would show up on the map. So yeah, I kind of wonder if we're maybe not in Turkestan. Go check over here, see if there's any other information, but same kind of thing, just billboards with more writing I can't really read, so I just decided to, I think, stick with this one. Although, yeah, I'm saying here those lines don't really add up because there's a full circle on this one here, and on the map it's not a full circle with those roads kind of intersecting it. So I just headed down here to see if this sign was any useful, and had some place names on here that I mean, make out with the Latin language, but I think they're just roads or really small places that I didn't really know and were of no help to me. So 10 seconds here, I decided to just go back in, get my marker down on this roundabout that I saw. I don't think it's right, but send the guess in, and there actually was another roundabout just down the road, and I'm not sure how I didn't see that one, or if I did, I just skipped over it, but second round here, pretty cool location with this kind of rainbow, or yeah, there's the rainbow, with the water splashing up, super neat. I really like this daily challenge that Geoguessr put together today. So right away I noticed these very American looking cars with the short plates, but obviously this definitely isn't Canada. Doesn't look like the US, so Mexico is my first thought here. And I think looking at the poles, they are octagonal, as you can see there on the left, which is a very common Mexican meta. And I'm not great at Mexico, but I did think this was maybe the Yucatan Peninsula or just the Gulf Coast there. And I do find the sun, I think, just down here a little bit that has some information on it that probably would be useful to somebody, but not to me. But we got a cool little plant right there. So, I mean, it doesn't even look real. So, take a second to admire the natural beauty sometimes. It's what this game is about to me at least. So, yeah, keep heading down this road and where is this sign at? The sign's a lot farther than I thought. There it is. So yeah, I approach this sign, check out what it's saying. Has some Spanish on it. I'm not, I don't know any Spanish. I guess this is what I'm saying. I don't know any Spanish. I know some French from Canada, but Americans know their Spanish, Canadians know their French. So a little bit less helpful here for me, but just seeing if there's any place names I recognize or anything, which there's not. I didn't know if Programas was a place or Pobres. Um, so I just had a brief look for those words on the map, but didn't see anything. And I just want to make sure here it's not actually Colombia with the Colombian cross, and it's not. So Pretty confident on Mexico here. I do see some bigger hills in the south, which, yeah, there's no really hills on Yucatan, so that pushes me back over to the Gulf Coast here. And with no real information and nothing really looking like it's going to be helpful around here, I just decide to make a region guess um, eventually. So yeah, I just kind of think we're somewhere on the coast here. There's some hills south which would line up, and we have a really nice guess right there. 62 kilometers away, super nice region guess. Very happy with that one. And yeah, those place names weren't on the map that I saw, so good thing we didn't look for them too hard. Third one here, another nice location, uh, with the horse mask and the banana. I get distracted by this for, considerable amount of time, but I think it's worthy. I think he even might have another banana there on the other side for a partner. It's very thoughtful of the horseman. And yeah, anyway, I love this location too. So far, I've been pretty nice locations. The first roundabout was very beautiful. That Mexican round with the water, pretty cool. And now this little horse man person in what I presume to be Canada or the USA. So at first I thought it was the USA, although I see La Bon Road here, which is obviously French. Although there's nothing really else in French. So I'm a little conflicted here because my first thought was BC, with these trees and this kind of landscape. And so we see the kilometers an hour, which confirms we are actually in Canada. But I'm still not sure if we're in BC or Quebec. I know kind of like New York, uh, New Hampshire, Vermont, like down to Washington, kind of has these like bigger trees, like the north of the Appalachians kind of look like this too. So I wasn't quite sure if we were on the East Coast or the West Coast, which is pretty unfortunate because, as you might know, it's really, really, really far distances between those two. So if we guess wrong, we're basically losing all of our points. So yeah, I'm just kind of debating if we're in that area near Eastern Canada or all the way out west in BC. And I haven't really found anything useful yet, so I haven't even really looked at any houses, which usually is a good help, but we're seeing more and more English, which doesn't really make me think we're in Quebec. Although we just have that one La Bon road, which is interesting. So, I mean, at this point, everything is really pushing me towards BC. And I look at this house. Well, I see if there's any city names on those bins, and there's not. And I look at this house, and the siding really reminds me of Eastern Canada. But obviously, those houses can't exist in BC. They're just more common in Eastern Canada, in my opinion, at least. So, I was leaning towards BC. That house is kind of pushing me back towards Quebec or Eastern Canada. And with all this English, I probably shouldn't have went Quebec, but I think I do end up going Quebec here. So, yeah, 20 seconds left on the clock. Not really finding anything else helpful. Yeah, 10 seconds left here. I'm just going to zoom into the map. Really have no idea what to think at this point, so I just go and right on the US border, and it's in BC. My first thought. Should have just listened to myself. I was pretty frustrated after that round. Um, Pretty much threw the whole game right there. We're on a nice score before that, but obviously 400 points. We just kissed goodbye. Over 4,000 points. So next one here, I assume to be Indonesia. A lot, a lot of children around this one. This seed was quite a nice seed. I did like this seed with the roundabouts, the horseman, all the children now. Uh, Not in that way, of course. Just, it's nice to see the kids around. Although there's a dump truck barreling towards them. I hope they're all right. More kids. So at this point, pretty confident we're in Indonesia here. Um, Not really having any information. I just sent Java, and it was actually Sumatra, and we lose even more points there. So pretty bummed about this seed at this point. Next one is actually in Cool Zoo, which I presume to be in Japan with its language, but kind of the same thing. Interesting location, but not really much to help. So I see the yellow plates there, left-hand drive, or right-hand drive, I should say. Definitely means we're in Japan. All these cool buildings and some cool buses I think I noticed here. in a few seconds. But yeah, I mean, we're only at 11,000. My score is pretty much done for on this point on this game. Yeah, those are the cool buses I was talking about. They're pretty neat. I would definitely go on a field trip at one of those if I was like 12. Unfortunately, we just have the yellow school buses over here, in North America. So, Japan does things right. So I just decide the most logical guess here is either Osaka, Nagoya, or just in Tokyo area. So I think I just guessed in Tokyo and call it a day on this seed. And yeah, it was just outside Tokyo, so pretty decent guess there. 16-4 today, not great. Um, Horrible guess in Canada, pretty embarrassing to be honest with you. Um, we at least had this super nice Mexico guess, which I'm pretty happy about. And we get the right town in Kazakhstan, which again, I have no practice in Kazakhstan, so quite happy with that. And then Japan guess is nothing special, and Indonesia guess is again nothing special at all. So tomorrow for day 5. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully we can do better than 16.4K. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.